I thoroughly cleanse and ground and meditate before I go into these readings, so I come in clear. And I can tell you that you need to cleanse yourself. You have a lot of interception and interference in your energy, and this could apply to multiple people. I feel like it is for multiple people. I feel like this is a standard message. If you don't know how to cleanse yourself, and I'm not talking about your hygiene, however, having personal hygiene, it's like Christians say cleanliness is next to godliness. Well, the whole point of that is to say that if you are pure, you are able to access the divine better. And the divine are constantly guiding us. And regardless of your faith and your actual spiritual beliefs, the divine is all encompassing. The divine is every faith. It is every religion. It is every spiritual practice. It is even the animals, the signs, the synchronicities that are in our daily life that give us beauty and meaning. That is spirit. That is the divine. And if you constantly have energies of old hanging on you, whether it's physical hygiene that you are having issues with, or if it's spiritual cleansing that you have to take a next level on, it's good to have some kind of practice. And if you don't believe in that, that's okay. Then this is not your message. I'm speaking to people who want spiritual guidance, who understand how to work with energies, or learning to do so. So one of the easiest ways that you can cleanse yourself, other than taking a shower or a spiritual bath, you can, if you can't use smoke, if you can, use incense. Something really easy, and you can use this for manifesting, or you can use this just to meditate. If you are not sensitive to scents, you can also find scents that work for you. Anyways, incense. Incense is great for that. You just set an intention and light some incense, and regardless of the intention of that particular incense, the properties of that, like lavender would be for love and communication and harmony, right? Positive vibes, relaxation. You just set the intention that your energy is cleansed and cleared, and that any negative attachments are removed from you and your energy filled. And if you'd like, you can say something like, as above, so below, as within, so without. I give it to spirit. It is done. It is so. You do you. You can just say, I'm cleansed, woohoo, and walk away, and it's done. I don't know. You practice the way you want to practice, and you don't even have to do spiritual practice. You don't even have to be a practitioner to keep your energy cleansed, because remember, our energies are constantly interacting with other energies, because everything is energy, everything is spirit. Now spirit's channeling. All right, so let's get another card out here. Ace of Swords, and that's the truth. There you go. Confirmation from spirit. When your energy is cleared, remember, whatever you clear, you also want to invoke what you want. Call in what you want. Because if you cleanse and you don't put positive energy back into that space or stable energy, it's just going to fill up with whatever energy was last in your space. It's going to linger back in. Old attachments are going to try to reconnect to you. And you're going to be constantly cleansing yourself, which is freaking exhausting. Let me tell you, as a spiritual practitioner, I cleanse all day, every day, throughout my day, because of all the energies I work with. The average human can probably cleanse maybe, I'd like to say every few days, but once a week would probably suffice. If you really don't want to do it that often, I would suggest at least every new moon and every full moon. So that's 2 weeks, okay? Another way you can cleanse yourself is grounding yourself with the earth. So walking barefoot on land, or putting your hands in some soil. That's something you can do if you live, say, in a city where you don't really have access to nature. You don't even have to grow plants. Just get a cup of soil, and whenever you need to ground yourself, hold the soil. Put your hands in the soil. Okay? If that's gross, then that's not your thing. You can also cleanse yourself with a selenite crystal. Apparently Spirit wants me to talk about cleansing, so it's very important, especially when you're coming out of an awakening, you're doing massive healing, you're setting intentions for a new start, for what you want to develop. Because eventually, when you come out of the dark night and you've had enough time to rest, you start to think, okay, what's next? Where are we going? Who am I now? You start to discover these things. You also discover what is keeping you from having these new beginnings with the Ace of Wands in reverse. That's the card of new inspired actions, happy new beginnings, a new spiritual path. So some of you are feeling opposed to the idea of these practices, which I'm not surprised. Queen of Wands in reverse. You may even look at it, maybe some of you have a more Christian perspective where you think it's of the devil. If you are here and you are thinking that, first of all, I am surprised you are still tuned in. That means something must be resonating with your soul if you are still here. Because I don't let negative energy into my space, and neither does Spirit. So if you're here to hate, shame on you. Remember, there are karmic consequences to all your actions, whether acted on or not. What you think becomes your reality, so be careful with your thoughts. That was from Spirit, by the way. Queen of Wands in reverse, feeling like you can't work magic, and next to Ace of Wands in reverse, it's just like something is repelling to you. Prince of Cups in reverse. Receiving love. Receiving love. That's what's repelling to you. Why Two of Swords? Feeling like you have to make a choice. And Two of Pentacles. Juggling options. Having two different physical paths you can take. And still feeling imbalanced. So it sounds like you need to decide what option or path you want to take. Remove one of those options from your mind. Find balance and security within yourself. Sometimes this requires asking for help, like the Five of Pentacles in reverse, which we keep getting. In the last reading, I mentioned that if you know how to be kind to yourself and ask for help, there are resources available to you. Because before you get to the state of balance, you have to master that lack mentality of the Five of Pentacles. So you let that go. You also let go of your attachment to what you were offering your cup to that was not balanced. You have to let go of an old offer or an old project or an old person in order to feel balanced. And then I pull the Princess of Wands, and this is part of your new quest. In order to be, remember, the King of Pentacles, in order to be secure, to have it all, to achieve the Ten of Pentacles like we received earlier,